Here is a 2024 BMW X7 M60i in Marina Bay Blue Metallic over ivory white extended merino leather. Why would you option this over an X7 or any of its competitors, whether it's Mercedes, Audi, Porsche? This is going to have 148 more horsepower than the standard X7. Better weight distribution at 48.1, 51.9. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and 5,895 pound curb weight, standard LED headlights and daytime runnings. It's adaptive, so that means it will go the way your steering goes at around a 5 to 10 degree angle. Standard dual axle air suspension when you get to this. You're not going to achieve this with the base X7. The lower is going to be the most aggressive setup unless you go to the XB7, and here you're going to still receive the active grille shutter. It's going to illuminate for the kidney grille with the M badging. Because there's not really an M car per se for the X7, it still packs enough with this V8. It's a 4.4 liter M twin power turbo, which is a twin scrolled, twin turbocharged engine producing 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque paired to the ZF8 speed automatic transmission. Reaching 60, BMW is saying at 4.5 seconds. XB7 gets it under 4 seconds. So when you're looking at the price jumps, this is over a second quicker than the standard X7, which has 375 horsepower. All of them will have a 48 volt mild hybrid technology. Here we're achieving 16 mpgs for the city and 21 mpgs for the highway. We have upgraded wheels. These are 22-inch. It's a staggered setup too. So it's 275/40 in the front, 315/35 out back. It's 203.6 inches long. So is that going to be something that says, I don't want to buy the car because it's too long? You get standard rear axle steering, which will go to about 5 degrees. So when you're taking some of those bended roads or you're trying to get in and out of a tight parking space, you can do that, and it's not going to feel as long as the numbers project. Going back to some competition, whether it's Mercedes or Audi, Audi is going to be a lot shorter. And when you go into the SQ7 or SQ8, 500 horsepower, so this is going to have more. It will be slower on the 0 to 60 numbers. And the same thing with the AMG 63. It will be capturing the moment with the 0 to 60, and that has 627 horsepower. But when you're looking at the price, it can still escalate to a few $1,000s more. Going against Range Rover Sport, if you go into the Dynamic, this is going to beat it. That's going to start around the 90 grand price. But when you go into the SV, it's going to beat this, and it'll be more competitive really with the XB7, and that's really what you're going for when you're looking at those top speeds in the 0 to 60. We're getting 4 pistons behind these black brake calipers and a single floating caliper in the rear. I like the gloss elements that are on the side and on the roof. Dynamically speaking though, this will be the best in class, even though it will be the slowest in class, towing up to 7,500 pounds for the X7. And we have the tow hitch here, which I don't mind it so much because this is done through the dealer, so it's more cleaned up. You get the quad exhaust tips with the gloss black. The XB7 will have the chrome tips for 4 exhaust that comes out a little bit more aggressive there, but you're expecting to spend another $20,000, $30,000. So I would like to see it a lot more aggressive. LED taillights, and I like the M60 badging, and it's a little bit smaller for the X7 badging. Gloss black elements still come into play with a 360-degree reverse camera front and rear parking sensors, and clearance is going to be over 8 inches. And when you have adaptive air suspension, what that means is what you're about to see when we go into this cargo. Kick to open or power lift gate that will go into 12.8 cubic feet of storage. Underneath here is going to have a storage compartment that you can fit your privacy cover, and it's a deep storage pocket. You can raise and lower the suspension in the back. To lower the clearance and make it easier to load anything inside. Split fold the third row in the back at a 50-50 split. and that will increase cargo to 48.6 cubic feet. Split fold the rear bench at a 60-40 split, increasing cargo to over 90 cubic feet of storage. It will be more of a flat floor layout until you get into the second row area. It has a wide entrance, but we need to go inside and start up this twin turbo V8 so you can hear that exhaust note. Soft closed doors will start off. This is standard. It's going to go into 20-way power seat adjustment, heated, ventilated, perforated. You got the piping, massage, and you can adjust this on the sides to tailor against your head. Memory for both the driver and passenger. Headroom and leg room. It's a large vehicle, it's a wide vehicle. The center cluster is also wide. Carbon fiber is everywhere, ambient lighting as well with the M badging. I like the satin aluminum that goes around all of the air vents, and they continue that on the driver's side with a storage pocket. The top will have your heads-up display, Bauer & Wilkins upgraded sound system. Leather is going to be on the top portion. One panel, two screen, 14.9-inch, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot with 5G capabilities. Put it into reverse, 360-degree reverse camera with backup assist, full trajectory for the front and the rear. When you click onto the more, you have the 3D view, which you can use the gesture, you can touch, and you can use that iDrive to go all around the vehicle. Click back into the more button, and now you'll have your trailer view, which will show the lineup for that. Click back here, and you got the car wash view, which shows the trajectory so you don't scratch your upgraded wheels that are in the front. Going into the gloss black and the key fob for the X7 M60i. Open up the carbon fiber to a wireless charging pad, 12-volt USB, and the digital key for the BMW. These are ventilated and heated cup holders. Get the carbon fiber, iDrive 8 with the glass. It's going to be soft to touch, opens up. It's a deep storage pocket with a USB port, 3-spoke leather-wrapped steering wheel, multi-function. With the paddle shifts, gauge cluster is a digital reader as well. You can change the content in the center, which we have the AR, so I would just simply leave it there. You can also change the layout of the gauge cluster, so you don't have to do it by the sport mode or just regular comfort. I would probably leave it here. And you can do the same thing for the heads-up display, in which you can match the lower with the top. Auto-dimming rear view mirror, a large panel moonroof that goes to the second row. Bauer & Wilkins starts off with the mesh inlays. It's going to be more sporty but soft to touch where it needs to be. One touch up and down for the windows. All acoustic windows are going to be included. Ambient lighting with the carbon fiber, and this is real metal, so be careful when you clean it because you can scratch your fingers. A long storage pocket with a large beverage holder carved out in the front. For the second row, headroom and leg room. Storage behind both of the front seats. You have a USB, also air vents, dual climate control settings, heated rear seats with a storage tier, USB 12 volt. The center will have the cup holders and an armrest. Opens up into a storage pocket. Door panel will have the power sunshades, in which you can do that for both windows. You can also adjust the panel moonroof and the moonroof for the back seat in the center with the LED lounge lighting, which is ambient lighting for the whole roof. It's going to be the same materials that's found in the front, so it is soft to touch where it needs to be, the ambient lighting, and the same style with about the same size storage. Scooting into the center, the floor is decently spaced because you can put your feet in the center. So you're not really sharing any feet space. Butt and shoulder space will be fine also because of how wide the vehicle, and also headroom is good. One thing to note is these seats are power adjust. So you can recline them back and you can move them forward or backwards, in which it will increase leg space for the second row, decreasing leg space for the third row. To enter into the third row, click this button here and it will electronically move forward and adjust. To make the entry a little bit easy. 2 occupants will be able to fit back here with a 5th climate control, heated third row, and you have your own moon roof with the air vents in the ceiling. You have the Alcantara cup holder. When you open this up, you have your USB on both sides. You can electronically move or adjust the seats back here also, so that way it will make it a little bit more accessible. In headroom, it's actually not going to be a problem. As for leg room, if you are sitting back here and you're tall like me with the seat back, it's not going to be something that's easy to do, but the rails are pushed up when you are sitting on the driver's side, whereas when you sit on the passenger side, you will be between the rails. 523 reasons why I should go nuts, and 48.1, 51.9 why I should still kind of keep it low because these tires are slick. But I'm going to show you on this curvy road right now. Now we have rear steering, so it's going to help hug. You get the cracks that funnel through. Everything's acoustic for the windows. And now we're going to see the 0 to 60 at that 4.5 seconds. It's a fun vehicle because you're sitting up so high. So when you start considering how fast you're going with so much power underneath the hood, yes, it's not the best in class, but it is for this. And that's why it's a fun vehicle. I mean, I'm still taking corners at pretty fast speeds, and I'm not really having to worry, and these are with tire shine. It's fun. It will take me to some pros and cons, and we're going to start that off right off the top. So the pros of the vehicle, you saw how it handles itself. It does a great job, and for a tall box that's nearly 3 tons, that is impressive by any standard. I like that you have a sufficient amount of room for all 3 rows if you move the second row forward a bit, and you have over 90 cubic feet of storage, so that is ticking the box. Because it's standard air suspension, you can lower the rear, so it's easier to load things in the cargo. So if you're not as tall as me, it still makes it very easy. The exterior, it has that aggressive style. I like the illuminated kidney grille and the large grille because this is also a large vehicle, over 200 inches. Seat comfort is great. You can really tailor it any which way you like. It does not feel like a sports car. It's going to feel more like a larger vehicle because it is wide. But when you push the pedal, it doesn't feel sluggish at all. There isn't really any turbo lag. This is on comfort to show you what I mean. And with upgraded 22-inch wheels, I'm going over imperfections in the road, and it's soaking everything up. The heads-up display is larger than the gauge cluster, so you can see everything right there live, and you don't have to look anywhere. But it will take me to some cons, and starting off with, this is the slowest variant in its class. In some cases, it may be the least expensive though, depending on the trim or the brand that you're going, meaning Audi, Mercedes or Range Rover. The Range Rover interior is going to feel a little bit more plush, but the materials here feel a little bit more soft. So what I mean is the cushions are a little bit more firm, whereas there you kind of just sit on like a pillow. Another con about the vehicle is you do lose a little bit of towing capacity when you get into the M60 over the standard X7. Another con would be that you have to option different packages in order to get the spec that we have, in which most of this should be kind of standard because you're already spending nearly $30,000 over the standard X7. I understand you're getting better dynamics and you're getting a lot more power, but it still would be nice that they implement a little bit more standard options in the X7 M60i. The electronic seats can be a little slow at times, but they are not as glitchy as the Range Rover. So it's kind of a pro and a negative altogether, because when I was in the Range Rover Sport, I had where the back seats, I could not fold it down. It actually stopped folding. Whereas here, I've never had that issue, and I have reviewed quite a few of both of those vehicles. Even though it's long, look at the power. And you can maneuver in and out. The steering is light. You can also change the dynamics of the vehicle too through the driving modes, which makes this a little bit more tailored driven to whoever buys the vehicle. The fun is going to be really in this and Mercedes. I like the Audi SQ7 and the SQ8, but the sweet spot is the RS Q8, in which they don't have an RS Q7, and then you lose the third row and it's a coupe design. That one's going to, the SQs are going to have 500 horsepower. It still will be faster than this, and it's more or less a detuned 2 times Lamborghini engine, whereas when you get into the RS Q8, it's a detuned once Lamborghini engine. So more or less the same mechanicals underneath there. So it is a fun fact on that. But when you're getting 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque, it's still quite a bit. You will hear the exhaust filter in, even just hitting a low RPM on comfort mode. And the rear steering will help if you are skeptical about the length of this vehicle, because it makes the maneuvering get a lot easier and a little bit more tight and crisp. So you're more at that 50-50 weight distribution when you tailor it with that 5-degree turn radius. Turn radius at a stop point, we're going to put it into sport mode so that way we can see the performance. We're going to give her a little go. And now we're going to go. It still has all of the impressive components and chemistry of a BMW, so it's the fun drive, everyday blend, and it has plenty of room for the whole family to get in. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2024 BMW X7 M60i for our car review.